Hey folks, it's been a while since I made a video, so I thought I'd put one of these together. Yeah, I made a pen yesterday, and I guess I filmed it. What you'll notice here is I'm only working on one half of the blank, and that's because the bushing that sits between the two is quite short, and so when I couldn't fit both blanks on, just because when I milled it or when I leveled the blank with the brass tube inside, it was quite deep, so uh, yeah, yeah, they just didn't fit together. I mean, it's just fine. So I just take off the end there, and then I throw the other blank on, which I'm doing right now. All right, so there we are. Yeah, this is a click pen. I haven't made a click pen before, so I thought I'd give it a go. Yeah, yeah. This wood, I really enjoy working with this wood. It cuts nicely. I like how it looks. I like that yellow of it. Yeah, so it was fun to get back into this. It's been a while since I made a pen, so yeah, it's good to do. What you'll notice as well is that I have a new workbench which I made. I put together like a time lapse video of me making that, which was fun. I'm really enjoying it. One thing though is that oh, look at that, the new camera angle, getting fancy. Um, the lathe now sits a little higher. I'd say like 5 to 6 inches higher than when it was on the folding workbench. It's a little bit. It took some getting used to, but overall it was more comfortable because I wasn't hunched over as much while working, which is nice because saves the old back. Yeah. So here I'm just getting that blank to round, and then yeah, just trying to go for a shape. I ended up initially I was gonna do like a really flat, straight profile, and then I decided to give it a little bit of a curve, just to make things interesting. And yeah, it worked out okay. I tried for a Father's Day sale on the Etsy shop there, but it didn't bite. Well, no bites rather. My cousin, who has quite a large Instagram following, she's a fashion and lifestyle blogger, put up one of my ads on her story, which was really nice of her. So I appreciate that. Yeah, so it was nice to get some recognition from somebody who has people who watch them, care about them, follow them. I don't know. It's kind of a strange thing. So what I was doing there is what I've noticed is that my tool rest is not level, so it's higher on one side than the other. So when I'm cutting the blanks down, or when I'm moving the chisel across, it doesn't stay in line with that pen mandrel, so it doesn't stay centered on that bar that goes right across the metal bar, which is a problem because you want the chisel to hit the wood at a certain spot so that it cuts nicely and smoothly. So I have to take a metal file to that and hopefully level that out. Yeah, which is not ideal, of course, because you think they'd have figured that out. But yeah, I read some reviews on this lathe, and they're not all that good. Yeah, and it's got a few quirks for sure. But I'm just starting out, so that's where I'm at. It's working for me so far. I'd like to get into turning some other things, but slowly. Yeah, it's been fun. I was thinking, there's an Instagram. I saw a few Instagram reels of people who have small businesses and like make things. It tends to be soap. I don't know why soap keeps something up on my feed, but anyway, it's about how you have to be a content creator if you have a small business, and it's kind of like it's not a happy like, ooh, this is fun type of video. It's like a, well, shit, I have to do this too. Oh, look, a new camera angle again, and here I'm just gonna be standing. So I guess it's kind of true, and I think that advertising is one of those things you have to do, and you have to sort of get a following and build up some momentum that way. It's hard to maintain though. I will say that, you know, like, I really would like to have at least one video a week, and sometimes, you know, I have other things to do, and it's not even that I haven't been working on the business. I've been doing a lot of things. I put together this, what I thought was inventory sheets, but it turned out to be more like a catalog. Oh, I picked up some mineral oil, or mineral spirits rather, which is essentially like turpentine. It smells like turpentine, just to help clean up some of the dust off these blanks. So when I'm sanding, I'm taking more of the sanding dust off, so that the next grit, or the finer grit that I use after, doesn't the dust from the previous grit doesn't get caught up in the next thinner or smaller grit. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, sandpaper has different grits, so the lower the number, the coarser the grit. It cuts deeper, and think of it like more what do you call it? Serrations. Like if it's a serrated blade, there's just more of them. And then as you're going through, what you're doing is you're adding more and more sandpaper, so there's less and less space between them. And then that creates a finer and finer polish or finish on the wood. So what you don't want is those larger particles getting caught up in those thinner gaps, and then because it'll ruin the sanding process. So these mineral spirits, it just kind of helps, and it's better than water because it evaporates a little bit quicker, and I don't know, it makes me feel more professional, I guess. Yeah, and I'm using a light here to see if there are any sanding marks left, and then going through. Yeah, I do prefer using the sandpaper over those what are they called? Abernet sheets. I know it's a little bit more wasteful, but I don't mind. Forget what I was talking about earlier. Nah, probably not that important. Yeah. So this, this business, or I have been working on this business even though I haven't been putting up videos. So I was talking about that catalog, which turned out to be more like a catalog, and I have to put together a spreadsheet just so I can track my expenses and pricing and all that stuff. So I've been doing that kind of work, more of the office work, the at your desk stuff, which is not a lot of fun, but I want to do it well from the beginning so that I don't have to play catch up later. And it is kind of nice to go back, but it is really annoying, and it's really hard to figure out certain things, like with these inventory sheets. I must have printed off 25-30 different layouts just to see what they each look like and which I prefer, and in the end I just settle on something, and then I print them off. Used InDesign for that. I hadn't used InDesign in maybe 10-12 years. So that was fun. Yeah, here I'm just using those micro mesh pads to get a finer finish on the wood there. What I noticed was that mineral spirits was cleaning up the micro mesh pads, which is kind of nice. So maybe I need to clean up those pads a little bit. Maybe run them through the washing machine or something. I don't know. This wood does finish up really nice, which I really like, and I like how it looks. I really like how this wood feels too. I forget the name. It's like Pau something. I can look it up. Let me look it up actually. Oh, another camera angle. Pau Amarello, P-A-U Amarello. Yeah, so there we are. It's fascinates to me how just these sandpaper can make the wood look like that, like it has a glass finish. it's fascinating to me. It's amazing. Yeah, so this keeps going. Let's keep going. Yeah, I think I'm just going out. Yeah, so I'm going to show you how I put the pen together, and what you'll find out is that it didn't work. And I don't know if I made a mistake when putting this pen together, or if there was a faulty mechanism or something like that. But I was pretty upset with it because, well, it's a loss that it feels like an unnecessary loss. Yeah. So, but that's how you learn, I guess. And then so when I have a few more because I bought a kit, so there were a few of these button click pens. So I'll make another one. Yeah, so I'm just finishing it off with some Shello wax here. And yeah, here what I noticed is there's just some fibers from the shop towel, and I'm just trying to rub those out so they, they're not there. Yeah, it's friction finish, so you kind of have to pinch it a little bit just to get for the friction finish to actually set. Which is yeah, how it goes. All right, here we go. So this is the pen press, and what you'll see on this paper are the instructions. And the instructions, for whatever reason, were really confusing for me to follow. And I think that's just how it goes when you're working with these sorts of things. And you get excited and you don't read it as thoroughly as you can. What I'm doing, which you can't see, is just wiping off some of the gunk that builds up. Off the ends. Okay. So that's the nib, and that's the center band. There is that click mechanism, and the spring for the click mechanism. That's the I forget the cap and the button, and then the finial, the clip. So that's the clip. So I'm pushing that in. This is always a sort of a trial. And what I'm trying to do here is line it up. So I press it in a little bit, and then I rotate the clip so that I get into the position I want it in, and then I press it nice and tight. See, okay. So here, I did do it correctly. Yeah. So it didn't quite sit. So I'm pushing that button click mechanism in, and then you put the spring on top, and then you screw the button in. Okay, and that should do it. Okay. Now, see, this is where I think I screwed up, because I flipped this over, and what I should have done is what I did in a few minutes, which is create a press block, I think it's called, so that the button fits nicely. Now, what I would do next time, though, and is probably not press the or screw the button on. And I don't know, I could have just screwed it off, but I didn't think to do that. Yeah, and then so there we go. The pen comes together. It's all really a friction fit. Yeah. And I don't know where I went now, but still in the area. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was making that press block. Yeah. See, there it is. I put a hole. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, one thing I'm really struggling with is working in imperial units and all these fractions that I have to do and all these conversions. See, I should have done that from the beginning because that was much easier. And I slide it in, screw it on. Oh yeah, I forgot to put that in. So that's just that just holds the tip there, and the system doesn't work. The mechanism doesn't work, and it drives me insane. And I must have spent the next hour just going back and forth and trying different things, and it just didn't work. Still doesn't work. Actually, I tried it again this morning. It doesn't work. I don't even, looking at it now, I don't know if I even like the design of the pen and that iridescent coloring. That would have been more fun for I don't know. I don't know what would have looked nice with that. Maybe if I had a blank that was similar colors. Anyway, I just keep going through, and that's what I ended up doing. Just clicking, 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 clicking. And I really don't know where I screwed up. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching and listening. I'm enjoying making these videos, and yeah, we'll talk to you soon, folks.